morning, Wayne. Morning, Laker Keyshawn. Morning, Duck Boat Paul.
Duck Boat Paul in the house.
Well,
Skip.
how are you? Our man Bronny James did not get drafted in last night's first round, which I suppose will increase the chances he will get drafted by his dad's team with the 55th pick in tonight's second round. We'll get to Bronny in just a few minutes, but LeBron's Lakers did make a splash last night. You could argue they stole the first round. At 17, they took, or maybe they stole, Tennessee's Dalton Knecht. Both ESPN and The Athletic had Knecht mock drafted at 6 going to Charlotte. So Keyshawn, scale of 1 to 10, how happy were you with Dalton Knecht?
Hopefully he can connect.
Yeah, Knecht from 3.
I'm pretty happy. I'm a 10, no, Skip.
Are you really?
Because the spot that they were at, sitting at 17, we all thought that Edie, except Paul, was a good bet. You know,
Said Edie was a 10 yesterday.
Yeah.
but I mean, it would have been because that's something we need, right?
Okay,
We need
yep.
a knockdown three-point shooter. So Dalton gives us that. Everyone always says, "What is it that LeBron James needs? He needs shooters around him. He needs shooters around him." If Knecht is actually a guy that's ready for the NBA, 23 years old, so you assume a little older, a little more leaves on the trees. The moments won't probably be too big for him. He can get to the rim, nice size.
Yeah.
I don't know about his defense, but they didn't draft him for defense.
No.
They drafted him to shoot the basketball. Now, he reminds the Lakers of their head coach, in my opinion. It's like JJ was a knockdown shooter. This kid is a college knockdown shooter. Averaged 20 points a game. It's pretty good in college. Can he transfer to the NBA with LeBron James? You got some space on the floor. You're able to pass the ball, do those things. I'm fine with, because we needed it. And what else are you going to get at 17? You say, well, they could have waited and got some. What? What is there to wait on? This is what you need. And if it works out, then great. This is not a loaded 1996 NBA draft.
You mean 1984?
Or whatever.
Yeah.
The 5 guys in 84. This is not that, though. And so when you got that sitting there, a need,
Yep.
and it presents itself
It
because he probably, if he was 19, 20 years old, he wouldn't have fell to 17. He would have probably gone in the top 10.
I'm with you.
So I'm fine. It's a 10.
I give it a 7 based on, they addressed some needs. I mean, the Lakers need pretty much everything.
Yes.
I mean, they need everything. Like the 10, you would have went with Edie, you would have gave it a 10. They got a shooting.
Yes.
And so it's solid. But you got to understand, I look at this as a potential trade piece. He's a guy who has some value, who can help some teams. I'm not sure if he can help the Lakers, based
Really?
on what are the Lakers trying to get accomplished.
All right.
The
So
Lakers.
you think he's still tradable now?
Well, yeah, I think he was projected to be in the lottery, got picked at 17 by the Lakers, and you could possibly use him for a trade piece for another superstar.
I mean, that's okay if they do that.
Yeah.
But as it stands right now, he's on our roster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like the pick, but you understand, translating to what he did at Tennessee to what you got to do for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
You go from a small-time school to the Lakers skill. That's hard to be somebody who I'm thinking going to contribute. And not only it's the Lakers, you got to play with LeBron. So you got to ask yourself, how much can this guy contribute right away? Yeah, he's a little older, a little more mature. I like it. But for me, I think this is a good opportunity for the Lakers to explore another trade, possibly for a superstar. If they can package him, maybe Reeves, some draft picks or other things. I think
get rid of all our dudes.
but I'm just saying, I think it's an opportunity for that. So, but as far as a scale of 1 to 10, this is a 7. It's solid. This kid can definitely play. Already reminds me of what they already have in Austin. They needed more of that, I guess. I don't know how he'll fare on the defensive end. Usually, rookies, it's tough on the defensive end. Does he move the needle for the Lakers from play-in to playoffs? No, probably not. But it's a good start, just adding some assets, moving forward. I mean, let's
Nobody
just
said that they was going to the damn NBA final because they drafted him.
No, I'm just saying it's a really good pick. It's a really good pick. No, I'm not taking anything away from it. It's a really good pick for the Lakers.
It's a need.
Absolutely.
So we have to take it.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't say nothing. It was a great pick.
Okay,
You know, solid pick.
Did I hear clearly? Did you call Tennessee a small time?
Small time.
Small time school?
I think
I went to Kansas.
I think you're referring to basketball. Is that what you're doing? Because it's not a small time school.
Well,
it's a
basketball-wise, it is.
Basketball,
I mean, when we talk about basketball schools,
You might hear from Peyton Manning today. I don't know. It's possible.
That's a football player.
Yeah,
I mean, like, when the last...
That's a football player.
Come on, we talk about basketball right here. We talk about basketball. You talk about Kansas, Kentucky, Carolina.
They're not blue bloods of basketball.
No, Duke, you know that. But, you know, Tennessee, small
They're
time.
not small. They're a good basketball program. They're tournament some.
Vanderbilt's a junior college and Tennessee's small time.
I thought Vanderbilt was
right?
D2.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and they're both in Tennessee, wherever Tennessee is. It's somewhere out there.
Vanderbilt is in Tennessee?
Somewhere out there in the middle of the country.
Y'all crazy, though, Skip.
Vanderbilt is in Tennessee?
This was a good pickup, though, Skip.
No, it was a good pickup. I mean, he's a shooter. He got a shooting coach, a guy who he can relate to.
Okay, so Rob Pelinka said, after this pick was made, in my mind, there is no way a player like this would be available for us to pick on draft night. Well, that's a fact. In fact, I don't know how hard they even looked at Dalton Knecht. I don't know how much research they did. All they knew was, again, the mocks had Zach Edey maybe falling to 17 to you.
And nobody thought that Zach Edey would go
9
or 8. Yeah, no one thought that.
Okay, nobody thought that went way faster than we thought. And to ESPN's credit, all their analysts for the 3 picks ahead of 17 are saying, what are people doing? I mean, this is Dalton Knecht. He was first-team All-American. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
First 5, you know, he was in the top 5. He won the Julius Erving Award, which is for the best small forward in America. That's pretty good, okay?
Not bad.
And he was the Southeastern Conference Player of the Year.
Pretty good.
Which is pretty good.
Really good.
You know, I mean, there are a lot of good schools in there that will put up a good fight when you play them. All right, so the problem is, as they kept saying on ESPN, that all the other GMs are saying he's just too old. Well, I mean, it's not like 23 is 33. It's like, I don't either. It's 23.
Basketball, man.
Well, they're just saying he has no upside. So he is who he is, you know, already. He's already polished. He's going to come in. I don't know why more NBA teams don't draft on somebody who's ready to come in right away and you know who he is, ready to play a role and ready to play. That's all they're saying.
All right. So he starts out, he's in a suburb of Denver, Colorado, and he's short. He's like 5'8" in high school, and he goes to a little junior college, Northeastern in Colorado. I don't even know where. I think it's in wherever.
Somewhere.
Is it near Vanderbilt?
It's near Vanderbilt. It's maybe about 3 miles from Vanderbilt.
Right.
But the point is, he goes there, and then he goes to that's 2 years, and then he goes to Northern Colorado. Not exactly, you could call that a small-time school. And he goes there for 2 more years. So he's got a COVID year left, and he gets recruited by Rick Barnes at Tennessee because he had he had a growth spurt.
You know, this dude's playing 6 or 7 years.
6 or 7 years in college?
Okay, and he suddenly sprouts up to 6'5" and a quarter. That's what he measured at the combine. So he says he chose Rick Barnes because he liked him as a defensive coach, and he wasn't known for playing much defense. And I think he's still not known for playing a lot of high-level defense. But all of a sudden, every time I turned on my TV and started watching Dalton Knecht last year, I was like, who the hell is this kid? Because he would go crazy hot and make like 7 straight shots. And he shot 39% from 3, but trust me, he does have a mid-range jump shot. So he is, as I tweeted last night, to your point, Keyshawn, it felt like J.J. Redick's team drafted J.J. Redick because he's got the... Listen, J.J. Redick was really good. He was the National Player of the Year in college and obviously the ACC Player of the Year a couple times. But this kid can score at all 3 levels, and he will drive it and get to the rim. I'm not saying he's explosively athletic because he's not. But he can stroke it from 3, and the best thing he does is catch it and shoot it. What does LeBron need the most of? What helps him the
shoot
most?
guy.
It's just catch and
Catch and
shoot.
shoot guy.
Because
Yep.
nobody, maybe except maybe Magic Johnson, but since Magic.